think 2 bends will be good enough. Yeah, I think 2 is good. 2 is good. 2 is good. My hand's gonna get dirty. Date. As you can tell by the looks of this, we are in a safe and controlled environment. We are at the gun range. We are at the happiest place on earth, Immokalee Range and Gun Club. So with that being said, it's been a long time coming. I'm really excited to be here today because we're going to talk about the PSA Dagger Micro Shield with the RMSC. Say that 10 times fast. The RMSC cutout for your optics. Now, your RMSC shield gives you the ability to run a few different optics. You can run the Holosun 407K, 507K. You can run the Vortex Defender. So it's the pretty, the more common ones. And I think, it's a spider web. I think once I get my feel out of my, when we're done with our first shots impressions and stuff, I think I might be running a 407K on there. Okay, so with that being said, this is the PSA Dagger Micro. As you can see, for the price point, it is super, super competitive, and they're giving it to you in a carrying case. Now, my first dagger, which is a full-size dagger, did come in a box. I'm not too disappointed, but I'm seeing now they're, really stepping up their game and sending out the daggers with bags. So that's not, a big here or there, but it's a big deal for me because I am not with the cardboard box stuff. So that's a good improvement. All right, so this is a 9mm striker fire pistol. Let's run through the bag really quickly and let's just talk about what it is we got going on here. But before we go any further, the first thing that really piqued my interest when I opened up this bag was this magazine. Now, this is a metal magazine with a polymer front, or a polymer, someone called it like a shield on the front. See how that looks? And I was like, look, I'm not an engineer. The reason why they done it, I'm sure they had a really good reason for that. But yes, it looks pretty cool. It looks interesting. So, hey, now I also have, I don't know if it's going to run or not. This is the Shield Arms 15-round magazine as well. We're going to try it to see if it works. Now, your firearm comes in the bag. It comes with some paperwork. You no longer get a manual. Your manual is actually QR code. Or bar, that's what this is called. It's not a QR code. What is it? You actually scan for your products and manuals. You scan this little thing and you get a sticker. So I'm excited about that. You also get your cable lock. The only down thing for me was one magazine. They only sent it with one magazine, but for the price point, hey, just order some more. It's not a big deal. Now, if you're not familiar with Palmetto States and their handguns, they have been doing a damn good job cloning the Glocks. Now, this right here, what you're looking at, the pistol is clear, is the PSA Dagger Micro. Now, this Micro is the clone to the Glock 43X. Just at first feel, I'm finding that I am liking the Dagger just a little bit more. Well, I shouldn't say that. I haven't shot it yet, but feel wise, I am enjoying the feel to this a little bit better. We're going to run through the specs on here really quick and just give you a little bit of information and, just show you the obvious. So as you can see here, it gives you the 3-dot white sights, which is pretty standard. Glock sometimes give you the U rear sight, but this one has a, serrated rear white dot sights. Your barrel length your barrel is actually a stainless steel 3.4-inch barrel with the DLC finish. We are going to give you that visual of that. As you can see, it's a very nice and clean finish on that barrel. Now, it is a polymer frame. As I said, this was a striker fired 9mm pistol. Now, the weight on her unloaded is 15.9 ounces unloaded. And as we were talking about the RMSC, you can run your Vortex Defender, your Holosun 407, 507. And another pretty cool thing about this is you can swap out slides. So you can put the Glock 43, the Glock 43X, and also the 48. and as well as, you know, the barrel and recoil assemblies and all that stuff, you can pretty much play around with these. I shouldn't use play around. You can pretty much build and unbuild or make what it is that you like as far as the firearm goes, which is cool. And I know Glock is another company that gives you like, I mean, there's so many aftermarket parts and stuff that you can use to make it exactly what it is that you like. But I think it's pretty cool. And the serrations in the slide are a lot more pronounced than the Glock serrations, and I enjoy that a lot. Press checking, racking, all that would be good. You do also have your accessory rail underneath for you to add or run the lights or lasers of your choice. Now, if you look at here on the trigger guard, your trigger guard is a nice rounded trigger guard, and it's not that hard, like 90-degree trigger guard like Glock gives you. So that right there is also really nice too. And also you do have an indentation here to prevent that Glock knuckle your Glock from rubbing underneath the trigger guard, making that pretty uncomfortable. Now, this is not an ambidextrous pistol. This pistol only has functions on the left side. Not saying that you cannot switch over your mag release. Your mag release can be switched over to the right side for left-handed shooters mag releases. But as far as your slide drop, that is only on the left side. And again, there is no safeties. Another thing that I observed that I like on the Daggers is the actual takedown levers. I struggle, I have to be honest, although I enjoy my 43X a whole lot, and this is the direct comparison to that, I struggle with taking Glocks down. I don't care what it is. But on here, if you see here, that actual takedown is pretty pronounced. So you pinching that to actually engage is a lot more comfortable and getting through that cleaning process. So again, not again, but back to what I was saying. The grips on here, the grips are a very mildly aggressive. That's not aggressive in one bit, but it does have stippling and texturing on it for you to maintain a nice grip. If I had to compare it to something, I would say the Springfield Echelon grips, that silky sand feeling, that's how it feels, and it is on all four sides. So you have it left panel, right panel, back strap, as well as in the inside or the front of that grip. Another thing that I liked as well was this flared, it's not a magwell, but if you look at the actual grip on that towards the bottom, it does have a little bit of a lip. That lip looks like it could almost give the illusion or act like a magwell. For me, it actually acts as a pinky rester, because my pinky rests right on that very comfortably and it feels good. So far I am extremely satisfied for what it is that I'm looking at. The way that she feels good. The beaver tail is a nice extended beaver tail to get right in that landing between your trigger finger and your thumb. She feels good. The Palmetto Dagger Micro. If I did not mention, and if you didn't hear, and if just because I do have to keep repeating myself when it comes to that, we are in a safe and controlled environment. We are at the gun range. All right, so the only thing left now to do is inform you of what it is that I am shooting. I am shooting Federal American Eagle 124 grain 9mm, and we are preloaded. And come on, yo, suit them up so we can send them down range. Let's do this. Let's go in first with the original magazine, the magazine that it comes with. Take those shots with that, and then we'll try the other magazine and see how that works. All right, magazine set nicely. Slide is a little stiff, but I'm sure as we get the working, the slide will kind of loosen up for me. we have a failure. Looks like it's a failure to eject. Yes, it was a failure to eject. She is a little bit snappy, as is my 43X as well. That wasn't the last one. All right, okay. It also has a memory pad here for you to put your thumb on. It's kind of too smooth, so I really can't keep my thumb on that memory pad. But hey, it feels good. Slide release is very tight. I can't quite drop it with my thumb yet, but I am sure we will be able to do so. Second one. Yep, it is a spent casing, just no ejection. Now this is the Shield Arms magazine. Two out of 30, not bad. I mean, I understand the breaking in period and all that stuff. We're going to go through that. We're going to shoot over 100 rounds. And based on how I'm feeling, we might just go a little bit over 100. So far, she feels nice. Now, the magazines are new. Well, the magazine that it comes with is new, so it is kind of tight. But it's not nothing out of this world. I didn't mention what was in the first two magazines. That was actually Yoki. So we saw we had two mishaps with the Yoki. So now we're just going to go straight in with the Federal and see how that goes. We're going with the original magazine. She's snappy, but she's not obnoxious. Shield Arms. This is also 124 grain. So this is hotter than the Yoki. Whew. Yeah, I can feel the difference between the two. She's bucking more. All right, so we got two straight magazines. I guess those two failures is acceptable when you're going through your breaking in period with your firearms. I understand that everything needs a chance, so I'm not in an uproar about that. Those two failures. Now, in the Shield Arms magazine, we're going with the rest of the Federal. And then I'm going to put the Yoki in the original magazine. And then we'll see what happens if anything changes at the line. All right, so Shield Arms magazines has 124 grain Federal, and the original magazine has the Yoki Dynamic Defense. So let's do it again. Original magazine back in. Oh, she did it. Yoki. Yoki. One. American Eagle, Federal American Eagle, 124 grain. Ugh. It did it again. Federal 124. All right. That's 2 and 2. Total of 4. All right, so let's put Federal in the original magazine. Let's switch it around. We only have a few left. A 7. Switch it around. It's probably not going to make a difference, but why not? Why not? Okay, so we tried the Federal American Eagle 124 grain. We had 2 failures. We tried the Yoki Dynamic Defense, also had 2 failures, but I had some Aguila in the truck. This is Aguila 124 grain full metal jacket. Let's see what happens, if we can get through it, or will we have a failure? Same 2 magazines, give you that. We are gonna go in with the original magazine. Man, it's hotter than devil's fart out here. It wasn't just this hot. And of course, the weather people done lied again. But anyway, all right, Aguila 124 grain. All right. No, I'm not done. I'm not done. But same failure, 3 ammunitions. All right, so that was 1. Thank you. Oh, my neck. 2. Three. Three with Aguila. Okay. Unless it's a bad extraction spring, or your plunger, or whatever is going on internally. I don't know. But how many rounds or how many failures would you conclude it to be an actual part that is failing? I feel like it's not consecutive enough to say, yeah, most definitely. Although we've had maybe 1 or 2 every magazine. We have now gone through, I think there's 7 left of the Federal. We have 7 left of the Yoki, and we have 20 left of the Aguila. So we've shot 100, a little bit more than 100. 200 rounds could be the sweet spot. Could be. Let's finish these out. Let's put 10 and 10. Let's finish out this Aguila, just so that I have a little bit of a satisfaction here. She always talking about no ammo left behind, but finna wrap it up and still got ammo left. Yeah, girl, please. You better get these damn rounds down range. All right. I think the heat kind of messing with me. All right. So we got 2 magazines plus a little bit. We're going to go back in with the PSA magazine with a little tuxedo on it. See that? And let's not worry about so much of accuracy. Let's just get these rounds out and see if the speed would make a difference. All right? Okay. No, it didn't. Okay, but it's just one or two. What could it be? That sucked. What could it be? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I wish I would have felt those out. Ugh, pistol is clear. Magazine is empty. I got a few more. Let's just make this happen. All right. We might be getting through that breaking in period. And, because really, I can't say the firearm shoots very nicely. I can clearly feel the difference between the grainage of the two. Yes, it is a little snappier, or it's not any more or less snappy than the 43X. But the feeling of it just feels good. She feels good. All right, this is our last, let me see. This is our last 8, and this is federal. Vámonos. Vamos a hacerlo. Vamos a terminar fuerte. Porque somos Yoke Gang. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's end strong because we are who? Yoke Gang. She still can't drop that slide. She still can't drop that slide. Okay. Vamos. Me cago en la madre. ¿Quién lo parió? Okay, let's talk. Let's talk. That was it. I only brought one magazine. The pistol is clear. Magazine is empty. It is vacío. Vamos a hablar. Okay. So, it's a little difficult for me to figure out if it's a ammo sensitivity. We went through 3 different ammunitions and it's having the same problem. So, 3 different ammunition, 2 different grains. So we did 124 grain and we did 115 grain. So it wasn't that the 115 was too weak and the 124 was too strong. What it was not, I don't think it was an ammo issue. It could possibly be an internal. It's possibly something happening inside, whether it's the extraction, it's failing, it's not, obviously not extracting that round like it should be, but it's not happening back to back to back to back. We literally had 1 failure to extract out of probably every magazine except the one, not this last one, the one before. And then we had 2 failures out of 1 magazine right before. So is that enough to say that it's an internal issue? Or is it enough to say that it's a breaking in period problem? Let me know. You be the judge. Drop that in the comments. I am going to get into this or deep dive into this a little bit more to find out exactly what that could be. In all honesty, I'm not disappointed because I understand that there's, motions that we have to go through. The manufacturer will tell you it's written in the manual. There's motions that you have to go through when you're dealing with, new firearms and all that good stuff. But you guys know that everything is straight out of the box. I do not clean. I don't do not anything. We come straight out to the range and we run these firearms as the average gun. When I say average, I mean just the regular, like me, just not, So They grab it, they want to go straight to the range, they want to shoot it. And I think it's important for them to be familiar with things that may happen when they are running their firearms. So I'm just a little bit confused, but we will bring this back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find 3 different ammunitions from what it is that we used and see if that helps. Take a look inside, see how everything looks. Unfortunately, I can't share that with you, but if I was able to, we would have done that right here. Another cool thing, listen. Make sure, now they send you screws for Holosun. Make sure you read these little fortune cookie little papers in here so that you understand what it is that you're doing. Now use screws with blue Loctite for Holosun. But there's also another little paper in here that says shorter screw goes in right optic mounting hole. Be mindful, be mindful. All right, I was supposed to tell you that earlier. So with that being said, I think this is worth another conversation. So we will be bringing this back. This is definitely going to be continued. But with that being said, listen, have you checked out www.yokegang.com? Have you? Well, if you haven't, make sure that you do pick up a t-shirt or a patch, support the channel. That is how I make stuff like this work for you. But thank you so much for supporting just by watching this video. So with that being said, y'all already know I love it when things work, and she did a pretty good job. As far as the aesthetics of her, I love the way this thing feels. And I love y'all for life.